1636. So over 400 years ago. Quite interesting. And now, another fact. This is part of another fact. Okay. On the territory of the United States, there are over 5,300 universities. 5,300 universities. So in 1636, Harvard was the first. That's why I think it's so famous also. There are over 5,300 now universities. Well, that's a lot. But also, United States is a huge country. That's why good. So, alright, let's see. Another, let's say interesting or weird fact. I don't know, you're gonna judge this. Well, you know that in Europe, most of the countries have official religions. Well, actually, this is not applying in the United States or applied in the United States because United States has no official language or religion. So, it's one of the few countries in the world that has no official religion. Right? So, that's good. Very interesting fact. I didn't know that. Right? But the next fact is about the culture. The United States. It's known as a melting pot. Melting pot of culture. Different cultures, religions, and ethnicities, groups and people live together and melt, let's say melt, one society in one pot. Americans are proud of their country, diversity and opportunity. So that's right. Right, good. Okay, the next one. Yeah, what should I pick up? Because I don't pick them in a certain order. I randomly picked them up from the page. Americans write the date. Okay, for me it's weird because Americans write the date, month, day and year. This is the format of the American date. Instead of the other countries, for example Europe, which write that format, it's day, month and year. Yes, because the Americans say the date, for example, June 1st. No, 1st of June, it's June 1st. And the year, for example, 2023. In Europe we say 1st of June, but the Americans say June 1st. And they write it in the same way. Well, there is a discrepancy between it's also confusing, especially when you have dates like 6 June or 6 and 6 of one a 17-year-old boy created the United States 50-star flag. 50-star flag, 50-star flag. And one of the most fun US facts it's about this one. When pupils were invited to create the American flag for a school project in 1958, attention, in 1958, a little kid by the name Robert G. Heft took part in the endeavor. What is interesting is that Heft's teacher first gave him a B for the assignment, but one day he made the decision to send to the White House a copy of his flag design, and ultimately former President Eisenhower called to tell him that his flag has been chosen as the official American flag. Naturally, Heft's teacher chose to change his grade to an A once that occurred. Well, this is a very interesting story. I think it's true. So the 50-star flag, it's dating from about 1958. Right. Good. Let's search another one. So there's not okay, just a moment to find a good one. Alright, so some kind of Americans. Oh, okay. Now this is about the first humans that migrated to the United States. Well, actually, they, at least, they were some sort of ancestors of what the Americans are today, because they reached the United States, or they reached American shores 12,000 years ago. Attention, 12,000 years ago, or even earlier. And these were the ancestors of Native Americans, but in fact they reached the shores of America, but they didn't realize that they put steps, or they stepped out in another continent. Good. So the first human migrated into North America was good. The very first documented assertion. Good. Alright, this one it's also interesting. The very first documented European to arrive to North America was the Spaniard Juan Ponce de Leon, who landed in Florida in 1513. Well, actually, Christopher Columbus, it says that the footsteps, the first in the North American, was in the 1492, but it seems that the first documented, or there is a fact that Christopher Columbus died without realizing that he discovered a whole new continent. He thought he just stepped out in the Indies, because that was his initial mission for to navigate and reach the Indies through the Atlantic Ocean. But well, it happened that he put the step on the United States shores without realizing that he just discovered another continent, America Vespucci, 100 years later, or 50 years later, realized that America it's another continent. But it seems that the first one was documented was the Juan Ponce de Leon. Right. Good. The US president was alright. Mostly in all other countries, festivities with different kind of public public festivities, but it seems that not in the United States, because the United States citizens celebrate Independence Day from the British Empire on 4th of July. That's everyone knows, but the day, the mood that the day is celebrated, it's with barbecues, garden parties, and fireworks. Well, actually, in Europe, you're gonna find parades and public parades mostly, but here in the United States, they have their own way to celebrate and be happy for the 4th of July with barbecues and garden parties. Well, I like that. I think mostly because it's also during the summer, because if the Independence War during the winter, I don't know if the people from the United States will celebrate it with barbecues and garden parties. Right. Now, let's talk about California. California. I didn't know, and that's why I wrote down here a fact that California is the United States or the US #1 producers of diaries. Well, actually that's kind of very interesting in my part. And now let's talk about sweets. Well, Americans are very renowned for their sweets. Well, lollipops were invented in New Haven. How nice is that? Lollipops were invented in New Haven. Well, that New Haven, it's not a sacred place. It's just a city or a town in Connecticut. And that happened in 1908 by George Smith. So, the lollipops were invented in New Haven, Connecticut in 1908 by George Smith. How American sounds that, right? Well, this is a fact here, the next one that everybody knows. The US, it's the only country in the world to have all 5 major climates. So, we talk about the tropical, which is the sound, dry climate, temperate, continental, and polar. Right, because it's huge, that's why. Let's see if I missed one from the first page. Yes. No, it seems I didn't miss. Okay, now we can move to the second page. Let's see. Alright, so now we are on the second page, so pay attention, okay? This is more interesting now. I talk Massachusetts. It's the healthiest state in the United States. And talking about percentage and statistics, another fact is that North Dakota, it's the U.S. happiest state. So Massachusetts is the healthiest, and North Dakota it's the happiest. Alright. Let's talk about the largest tribe in the United States. Many of you wouldn't guess. Would that be? It's the Navajo Nation. It's declared the largest tribe in the United States. Good. There is no official religion in the United States, but Protestant Christianity is the largest religious group in the United States. Protestant Christianity. Wow. Oh, well, we're gonna stay in this area of statistics, mostly because the next fact, is also related to famous or statistic. Okay, it's about the King of Prussia. King of Prussia. Well, actually, it's a name of a mall in the Philadelphia. So the King of Prussia Mall in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is the largest mall in the United States, and it has more than 450 stores. 450 stores. Or magazines, or yes. So King of Prussia Mall. Why they put the name King of Prussia? Which one? Because Prussia had a lot of kings. I don't know the relation between the mall and the name. You know, Prussia was a kingdom, a medieval kingdom, and a modern kingdom that was dissolved after World War I in its war, and it's war between the Poland and Germany. Good. So that's okay. The next it was only second long. That's alright. The film Dickinson Greeting. Okay, just remember this name or memorize this name. Dickinson Greeting. That was shot in 1891. So that Dickinson film was shot in 1891. Was the first movie shot in the United States, and was, attention, was only 3 seconds long. I should search on the internet to see that 3 seconds long old movie, and it's dated from 1891. So now it is very interesting. So the first movie shot on the territory of the United States was only 3 seconds long, but at that time I think that was a record, maybe. Good. Okay, there is a town in Washington with bridges, 3 top bridges, made specifically, attention, made specifically to help squirrels to cross the street. Well, that's cute. That's cute. Right. And I know that this is the next fact. It's one historical fact, and it's dated from 1872, when Russia sold Alaska to United States for about 2 cents per acre. 2 cents per acre. Well, at that time, 2 cents were a very valuable number in terms of currency. So, in 1872, Russia sold Alaska to United States. There were some rumors about Alaska when I was young, and I'm remembering now that they say that Alaska was won at the poker table, but I don't know if it is true. But there were some only rumors. So, right. Another big fact, let's say big fact, is that it will take you more than 400 years, 400 years to spend a night in all of Las Vegas hotel rooms. Oh my god. So you need 400 years to spend a night in each room of Las Vegas hotel rooms. Well, actually, yes. Well, that's interesting. I don't know who made that calculation and that, but let's take it as it is. Alright. Okay, now this one is about the airlines. Airlines sell their unclaimed packages to a store in Scottsboro, Alabama, that resells everything. Alright, so if you have some unclaimed packages, you can find them in a store in Scottsboro, Alabama. Oh, yeah. After how many days? If their packages are unclaimed, after how many? Which is the time schedule after which they are sold in that. Well, actually, I think this is weird also. It's interesting, but it's weird. Alright, now let's talk about Boston, Massachusetts, of course. It seems that, I don't know, I didn't write this because I gathered them from the internet, but it seems that Boston has the worst drivers out of nation. It's the 200 largest cities, so Boston has the worst drivers out of nation's 200 largest cities. And it seems that on the opposite side, it's Kansas City who it's believed that has the best drivers. Alright, I wonder if this is true. If you are from Boston or from Kansas, please confirm this in the comment section below if this is true or it's just a rumor. Boston has the worst drivers. Alright, now next. Let's see. Kansas produce interesting and fun and weird. The Empire State Building has its own zip code. Well, actually, that's interesting, but it's normal, I think. Well, let's move to the next. Alright, now this is something that I didn't know. The entire Denver International Airport. It's twice the size of Manhattan. Ooh, how could that be? So the entire Denver International Airport is twice the size of Manhattan. So I think it's very easy to get lost in that airport if it's so huge. Because I lost 3 times. Or I lose myself. I was lost 3 times in Manhattan. So that's kind of weird. Right. Okay, the next fact is another interesting fact, because in 1893 or 1893 an amendment was proposed to rename the country to the United States of Earth instead of United States of America, to change it to United States of Earth. Well, that's cool. That was cool, I think. But it seems that they stayed with the United States of America because it's most obvious. That should be the right name. Alright. Another big fact, and it's about Kentucky. You know, when you say Kentucky, you may think of 2 things: the Kentucky Cocks, or Roosters, and the bourbon and Jack Daniels, of course, the whiskey. Well, the number of bourbon barrels in Kentucky, only in Kentucky, outnumbers the state population by more than 2 million. Holy shit. Really? So, the number of bourbon barrels in Kentucky outnumbers the state population by more than 2 million. How? Oh my god, where they can store so huge amount of barrels? Where? In the underground, in the mountains, where? Okay, and now let's talk about New York. Well, before New York was New York, it was called New Amsterdam. Instead of New York, it was called New Amsterdam, as a settlement by the Dutch that chose to settle in Manhattan. The name New York only came into being later in the 7th century, when those English who captured it. The name New York was to pay tribute to Duke of York, who helped capturing. So New York, it has its name with the Duke of York. Right, so that was it, the second page. Now we have one more page, but this one has made or constructed at the same foundry as the Big Ben bell in London. The Whitechapel Foundry, it's the name of the foundry, of course. The Whitechapel Foundry made both bells, right? So USA has the longest cave system in the world. Well, that's true, and I heard about this fact. For instance, the Mammoth Cave National Park actually has the longest cave system in the world. Well, that's another tourist attraction, as far as I know. Okay. And now, again, some records. The United States has the world's longest land border. Because it's supersized, that's why. Stretching for over 8,850 kilometers, the US shares the border with northern neighbor Canada. Alright. And now this one is strange. But the next one, of course. If you want to drive or to become a NASCAR driver, you won't need a driving license, you know that. So you don't need a driving license to race in the NASCAR series. Even if you had your driver's license suspended for breaking road rules, of course, obviously, in your daily life, you can still go and won races in the NASCAR series. So, well, actually, I don't know if it's in Formula One. It's mandatory to hold a driving license. I don't know, but it seems that in NASCAR, no. Right. Good. Alright, this one is very cool, so pay attention because it's a little longer description. So Independence Day didn't happen on 4th of July. What the hell? Didn't happen on 4th of July. You probably used with the 4th of July, but it seems that it's not. It was on 2nd of July, because on 2nd of July Congress voted to free the United States from British rule. But everybody celebrates on 4th of July because that is when John Hancock wrote the first signature on the Declaration of the Independence. But that Declaration of the Independence was voted 2 days earlier. So in the statistics, it seems that the real celebration day, Independence Day, was on 2nd of July. Well, that's strange, it's cool, I don't know. Now, two more. One short and one long, and we are done. Atlantic City has the world's longest boardwalk. Okay, and now we are in the front. Let's say in the front of the last fact, which has a quite medium descriptions, but it's also a very interesting one. But it's related to geography. It's related to Crater Lake. Crater Lake because there are plenty of facts for United States if you search on internet, but I gathered and made this list because I think these were the strangest of them all, in my opinion. So please leave a comment in the message section below, and until next time, I wish you all the best, and bye bye, of course, wherever you are. So